Well, folks, I've run into a bit of a snag. I said that I was going to finish up my curtains and put the fringe on and all that. Well, I can't do that because the fringe that I was going to use, I didn't have black, so I was trying to dye some that I had, and the only thing I had to dye it with is my black soot re-inker, and it's been a week since I dyed it, and it's still coming off on my hands, so I had to go online and find some and buy it, so I'm waiting for that to arrive. So I can't finish my curtains yet. But in the meantime, I thought we would work on the front of our hearse, which is where the driver will sit. So let's get started on that. Again, I'm using my priority box, recycling it. And for those that want to know, it is approximately a 1/16 of an inch thick, and I'm using a double thickness, so each piece is 2 pieces glued together. And this is my side pieces for the front, and I have, since this is so complicated, I scanned this and made a PDF out of it, so you can just print it out from the PDF and get your pattern that way. If anybody's interested, just send me a private message and I'd be more than happy to send you that PDF with the pattern on it. So you'll need 4 of those. You glue 2 together and 2 together, 1 for each side. So there's that piece. And then you're going to need, let's see, look at my notes here. Is that where I started? Let's see, there must be. Okay, you're going to need a footboard, which is going to be the part that goes right here where the feet rest. Can y'all see that, I hope? And this piece is 2 inches by 4 1/4, and again you cut 2 and glue them together. And this piece, I believe I'm going to put on separate, so I'll probably cover all the edges with the paper hinges before I attach it, because I want this to look kind of separate. Anyway, the next piece we'll need is the back, which is the part that holds this section onto the back end hearse, and that's going to be the piece that fits here, which actually will look like this, but it goes inside, not on the ends. And this piece is 2 inches by 4 inches, and again cut 2 and glue them together. And this is the piece that's going to go in between those 2 back here. Okay, and the next piece you're going to need is what I call the back shelf, and it is 1 1/2 by 4. You cut 2 and glue them together, and this is the piece that will fit on this shelf right here. But it's going to go inside, and you're not going to be cutting out this curve. It's going to fit like that. Hope you can see. It's not going to fit into, there's not going to be a curve on the inside. The curve will just show on the outside piece. Hope that makes sense. But it's going to go like that, and I'm calling that the back shelf. So that one's 1 1/2 by 4. Your next piece is what I call the seat back, and oops, that's the front. Here's the back, and this is the one that sits here on the inside. All these pieces that I'm showing you now go on the inside, not on the ends. So this one's going to fit here, and it is, let's see, 1 7/8 by 4. Okay, and you cut 2 and glue them together. Next piece is the seat top, which is going to go up here. That's this one right here. You cut 2 and glue them together again. This one is 1 and I can't read my writing from so far away. 1 3/4 by 4 1/4. And this one is going to go on top, not inside. It's going to go on top of the side pieces. Okay, so there's that one. And then the seat front, which is what I'm calling the piece that fits here, like this. And again, you're not going to have the curve on the inside. It's just on the outside. The front is going to fit like that. So the seat front is 1 11/16 by 4. And you'll cut 2 and glue them together. And then we have one piece that is called the floor top, which I call the floor top, and it's going to fit right here on this one. And again, it's not going to have the curve, it's just going to be on the inside. This one's going on the inside. The only one so far that's going on the ends is the top piece, the top seat. Everything else is going in between. I hope that makes sense. But it's going like that. And then the one I was talking about before, the floorboard, it's going to be fitting right here, but it's going to overhang a little bit. We still got a couple more pieces to cut, I believe, but I wanted to show you. I'm not sure if I want to. I won't know until I get these assembled whether I want to put more pieces on. But this is my front wheel assembly here. And I did it basically the same as the back on this part right here, but I added a top piece because I wanted my front wheels to be able to turn. And this piece right here that you see is attached to the top, that is going to be attached to the bottom right here of your seat. It's going to go like this. You can see that. See where it's going to be attached to the bottom there of your. And this piece, let me get you those measurements. This piece is going to be 2 1/4 by 4 1/4, and again you cut 2 and glue them together. And that's going to be the part that glues up under. And then this top assembly here is made up of 6 pieces that are 3 3/4 by 2. And 6 pieces that are 3 3/4 by 1 1/16. And the short ones go inside the long ones. They don't go out on the ends, they go inside. Hope you can see that. And then for the bottom assembly, you need 6 pieces of 3/4 by 4 1/2 and 6 pieces 3 1/4 by 1 3/16. And you can see how they're put together there. And it's 3 pieces here, 3 pieces here, 3 pieces on each side. And that this top is made the same. It consists of 3 pieces each. And then we do these front wheels just like we did the back ones, where I showed you how to, you put your dowel rod through, and your dowel rod is 5 1/2 inches. And these things sticking out here are just wooden thumbtacks that I found at Walmart in a container like this. And I haven't decided whether I want to cut them off or leave them long. I'm leaning more towards leaving them long like that. But they are made to where you can cut off the big shaft that's sticking out if you want to. But anyway, to attach these 2 pieces, I just ran a hole through both pieces, and then used a paper clip that I got at, it's just a regular paper clip like from the office supply, and that's what allows our front wheels to pivot. So that's our front wheel assembly. Very, very easy. And I'm going to get this assembled, and as much as I've got now, I'll put it together with my paper hinges, and then I'll be back to show you that, and we'll see where we're going to go from there. As I was putting my pieces together, I wanted to show you real quick that, let's see, I've got my front, well, this is actually the back piece that hooks to the back end of the hearse. This will be attached to the back. This is our back shelf, what I was calling our back shelf. And see how it goes past this area here? The reason I did that, I forgot to mention that the seat back is what goes on next, and it still goes in between like that, but it rests on top of that shelf piece. So I forgot to mention that, and I just wanted to show you that the seat back rests on top of the back shelf, but all these pieces go in between, not out on the ends. Okay, just wanted to let you know that. Time for another update. I've got all my pieces that I was talking about here. I've got the back that hooks to the hearse. This is the back shelf, the back of the seat, the top of the seat, front, top of the floor, and I also added the wheel section on with this bottom piece here, so our front wheels are attached. And I'm trying to decide how I want to finish. I'm thinking I probably leave this section back here open, because I don't think it's going to make a difference structurally or aesthetically. So I think I'm going to leave that for now. May decide later, but for now I don't think so. But I'm working on the footboard now, and I had it fitting in between those two, but with an overhang at the top, because that's how I see a lot of the buggies done. But the more I look at it, the more I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a piece on the outside here that will fit, you know, on the outside, this whole length, and then cut this down a little to make it even here, and then just finish it off. I think I'm not going to have an overhang. I think I'm just going to finish it. So I hope that makes sense. See what I'm talking about? I'm going to put a piece on here that will cover this front, and then put cut this piece down to where it's even with this top, and then put a piece across the top, and we'll call this good, I think. So I think I'm going to do that, and then I'll be back with another. Alright, I've got everything covered here. As you can see, I went with the flat. This piece here, let's see, this piece here is 2 5/8 by 4 1/4, and I cut 2 and glued them together and then put them on. And then this front piece here I cut down to 1 5/8 by 4 1/4. And then the top piece is 4 1/4 by 5/8. So that covered all that up. And we still have this part open here. And now we are ready to attach this to the back of our hearse. And here's the back of mine, and my back wheels will probably fall off because they aren't glued on yet, but they're just barely hanging on. But what we're going to do is we're going to glue this onto the hearse with this. See if I can do this without tearing it completely up. This edge here is going to line up with this edge here. So it's going on like that, and you just center it in there and line it up at the bottom. You glue it on, and then you add your paper hinges all the way around. And if by some chance that doesn't hold it, even after you glue in paper tape, we can go back and add braids into the underneath side here if we need to. But that's what I'm going to do next, is glue that on and get that attached, and then I'll be ready to work on the outside. And I sure wish my fringe would get here so I could finish up my curtains and put the sides on, but it hasn't yet, so I'll keep you updated.